there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com with match number 3 with the Mardu Enchantments. I think this is a mulligan hand. Yeah, this is definitely a mulligan hand. And this is much better. We have the Butcher the Horde. I don't know how well I'm liking Butcher the Horde. We can chip this land off the bottom. I think the deck actually wants Hangerback Walkers. They're extremely good in any deck. And the same is true for this deck. They work very well with Butcher. So another land off the top. Let's go Shambling Vent. And good thing we scried away that one land. A green. See if it's the ramp deck. Hangerback Walker. This is the deck we could care less about a Hangerback Walker. We'll just go Smoldering Marsh into play tapped. And pass the turn. And we can Stasis Snare. I hope he actually does pump up his Walker. Nope, he's gonna ramp. So we have a Stasis Snare next turn. So this is just going to be the mono green ramp deck. They play Hangerback Walkers and a bunch of Eldrazi's. So it gets 2 basic forests. And there's another Stasis Snare. So yeah, we'll just put out the white source. And gets a Hedron Archive. I think we're in some trouble. The problem with this deck, though, is they just run into some dead cards. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jeez. We'll snare off the Hangerback. We have plenty of other snares. And now we'll be able to put out a Butcher. Need to stop drawing into lands. But Butcher puts him on a pretty decent clock. It's hard for him to deal with. We can Stasis Snare, whatever. It puts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So still can't quite activate the Shrine. But he does have an Ugin. And I think Ugin's just going to... Yeah, I think Ugin's just going to get me. He has to -4 Ugin, though. Yeah, my deck is terrible against Ugin. Ugin is the one card that I really don't think we have an answer against. So I need to draw it into a Stasis Snare. Or, excuse me, a Quarantine Field. We'll be able to attack into Ugin. I don't know how much that's going to do. But I think that's the game plan. What he tutor up? He tutor up an Ulamog, which he's really close to being able to cast. Which is going to be very, very problematic. And the thing with Shambling Vent is it can't really attack into Ugin, the greatest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is what he can do. And he's going to go and get the other 2 lands he needs to be able to cast Ulamog next turn. And we need to be able to kill Ugin this turn, but I don't think it's going to be possible. So what we need to do is draw into a Helm. Does that give us enough? I don't think it does. Quarantine Field's bad at this point. We need him to kill our Shambling Vent and another permanent, and then we can get him with Quarantine Field. Hopefully it'll be enough to exile both. But I will use the Silk Wrap here. So we can go Bloodstain and go grab. I think at this point we just get a Swamp because he's going to kill these 2 cards. And we'll Silk Wrap on the Hangerback. Hedron Archives allows him to draw some more cards. And we'll once again just attack into Ugin. He'll kill the Shambling Vent. Yeah, he can easily cast Ulamog here. But we'll have a Quarantine Field for Ugin. I'm sure he'll grab the Smoldering. Yeah, Smoldering and Shambling. And now we get the Helm. So we'll Quarantine Field Ugin. Take a bunch of damage, but then we'll be able to Stasis Snare the Ulamog. And I guess so we're not out of... We haven't lost this quite yet. If I Stasis Snare Ulamog, we can do it after he pumps up Ugin. You have to -3. I think this is actually just better to Stasis Snare the Ulamog. So we can just put out a Helm. So we're going to be exiling a lot of cards here. He'll have to kill his Ugin. If he wants Ulamog back. I think that's fine. Because then we can Quarantine Field. Because this only triggers on cast, the Ulamog does. He's going to sack the Archive to draw a bunch of cards. Okay, he's just going to do 3 damage to me. He's going to Pilgrimage. This just really starts to thin out his deck with lands. So you can Quarantine Field Ugin, which we'll do. But you can easily draw into another Ugin, though, is the problem. But I think this is going to be our hardest matchup. Out of all the decks out there. Explosive Vegetation. They just run an insane amount of ramp cards. So far so good though, because now we can just Outpost Siege on Khans and try to gain some card advantage back. And then pass. And just hope that he just does not have like an Ulamog or another... Yeah, just another Nissa's Renewal. It's up to 27. He can still cast whatever. This is crazy he doesn't have another... I can't do anything with the Suspension Field, but at least gets out of the way. We'll continue. I don't know if we have another source for the Bloodstain. I think we're out. Yeah, I believe I'm out. Yeah, never mind. We are out of the Bloodstain. Pass the turn. Suspension Field goes away, but it's going to get us closer to what we need. But we are on a clock for sure with his deck. There's 10, there's 13, 14, 15, 16 lands. And I don't know what else he has in his deck. A lot of it just cycles through. I mean, it's basically Tron for Standard. There's our Butcher. And this is actually a really good clock. Because we have a 9/8 Butcher. Is he running like Crater Claw in this deck? Why would you not? Look at how many lands that is. There's 15, 16. Jeez, just insane. How fast they can just go through their deck. And he drew in the other Ulamog. So he should just kill the Quarantine Field and the Butcher. Is what I would kill. And then you can just kill everything. Yeah, that's game. Alright, we'll go on to the sideboard. Again, it's going to be a very tough. Transgresses all come in. At least we do have the Transgress. Crackling Doom works against Ulamog. I don't think we care, though. I think cards like Sigil of Empty Thrones are decent. Suspension Field is... Steel Grap's just a dead card. It can kill the... Even Starfield of Nyx, I think, is fine. Crackling Doom is just better than... I don't know, though. It's weird. I think Molten Vortex is not horrid. Suspension Field's better than anything that we can... Wasteland Strangler is terrible. It doesn't do anything. So I think Doom is just better than the alternatives. And same with Molten Vortex, or just better than maybe Suspension Fields. Other than Suspension Field can get rid of the... Starfield Nyx is a must. Butcher's just slow. Outpost Siege is fine. Citadel Siege is okay. It can get out of hand. Surge of Righteousness is pointless. Radiant Flames is pointless. Silk Wrap is pointless. Wasteland and Suspension Field. I still think it's the Suspension Fields that just are the weak link. We'll submit this. We don't have a good game plan against the deck like this. Counter Magic's the best. Yes, I like to play first. And I think I begrudgingly keep this because it's quick. Maybe I do Moldu a Transgress the Mind. I'm not sure. We have a Monstering Mentor, which can get out of hand. So come on, lands. If we miss a land drop here, I think it's over. And we do. Womp womp. See if it's a Pilgrimage, and here starts the ramp. Yeah, the two landers are rough for me. Every time I keep a two lander on MTG, I do not draw a land. Every time you give a 4 or 5, you always draw a land. That's a good card though. This should have been out last turn though, and then so much better if that's the case. But Ugin is getting close. He can actually just kill that Blighted Woodlands. I want him to just go Hangerback Walker, but yeah, Explosive Vegetation. We'll find him 2 more basic lands. Still need to draw a land here. That's a great card, but I think we're not going to be impactful enough. Ugin and Ulamog teaming up together. He's already got 9 mana. And I have to draw into a land next turn. He can just plus Ugin here. Crazy how fast they can get that Ugin out. I don't know why he decided to do the... Instead of 3 damage. Yeah, I don't understand that. It's, to me, a little pointless. So, land or bust here. So ridiculous. I think we'll just let a Butcher die. Or a Stasis Snare. We want the Monster Mentor for sure. And if Ulamog comes out here, that's game. Womp womp. Okay, that is game. It kills 2 more lands. And anyway, that's the deck I'm going to be running for FNM. I think it's going to be quite fun. I don't know if we'll be facing Tron in Standard at my local metagame. Good news is that deck does really, really fall susceptible to aggro. They have to get a Nissa's Renewal out as quick as possible, and a lot of times it doesn't really matter. So, in the metagame right now, I don't expect it to be the greatest threat. But anywho, 2-1's not bad. I'll let you know how I did at my local FNM, and in the comment section below, you can tell me what you're running, and then I'll show the modern deck here. I don't know if I have time to play some games with it, but I'll show you the deck I'll be playing. This has been Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com. Thanks for watching.